Welcome to the third episode of the Paranormal Sessions. My name's David Coronado. I'm a true psychic medium and a paranormal investigator. I had decided to change the order of what videos I would release because initially I was going to release pictures of actual spirits in my room, and the episode is called Rings. But then I decided I wanted to cover podcast about demons because I think there's some misunderstandings, and some of the information I'm going to mention, maybe it's going to be a little disappointing, but I take the paranormal very seriously, so I want to keep things or correct information out there, and if I were proven I'm wrong, I'll be glad to admit I'm wrong and say what the correct information is. So the first thing I want to say about demons is that they're rare. And I'll say that again, demons are very rare. Now, I unfortunately had the experience of seeing demons 5 times. Now, out of the 5, 3 were in my bedroom, but I believe one of the demons I saw twice. So I saw 3 demons, 3 times in my room. The other 2 were visions. And the one thing I wanted to mention about the vision, the second vision I had, I think it was actually the first vision. I see this like gigantic eyeball, because it's, like what I mentioned in previous videos, when you're having a vision, it's like you're in the theater and you're watching a movie. Well, this one I saw this huge eye, and it has blood red eye, and it's like blinking. And then I see around the eye, I see the skin, but it looks like lizard skin. That's the best way I could, describe it. So I thought, maybe it is a demon or a powerful evil spirit, and just trying to scare me by showing that, the skin is like a lizard or reptile, whatever the case might be. So years later, I'm reading books by Ed and Lorraine Warren, and in one of the books, and of course I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a young priest who's house sitting while Ed and Lorraine were doing, I can't remember, but they were doing something else, and so they wanted the priest to stay there and see if there was any activity. And of course, in the book, the priest is a little scared of, say the least, because he's never been in this type of situation. So he asks Ed Warren, how do I know if, what I'm seeing is a demon? And he said, well, they look like reptiles. And then I immediately remember the time that I saw this, demon lake. I mean, it's had lizard skin, which, is a reptile. But I thought he was just changing his appearance just to scare me more. But now I found out that's how they actually are. But anyway, with regards to the demons, I saw those 3 times about 7.5 years ago. And I seriously doubt if I ever see another demon. I mean, I hope to God I don't, but, they are rare. In fact, when I've talked to other mediums that, that I have trust in, and all the ones that I've ever talked to said they've never encountered that they've, when they've gone to be called like to a house or something, that they'll see evil spirits, and they might even be powerful evil spirits, but they don't run across anything with regards to demons. Now, one thing evil spirits will do is they'll tell the medium that they're a demon, because that way, makes them more scared, and then of course the medium's going to tell the rest of the investigation crew that it's a demon, need to watch out. But an actual demon will never say that they're a demon, but a medium will pick up when they're, basically interacting with a demon. Next thing I wanted to mention is that, I've read articles and heard things about when people were in the presence of a demon, that they were nauseous, or they had unusual pain, or something was wrong with their skin, or whatever the case might be. Now, my situation, those 3 times, I could tell, the air was like this, like evil, like it was so thick you could like cut it with a knife. But I didn't experience any like nauseousness or, pain or, changes in my skin or anything like that. Now, maybe I'm different because I'm a psychic medium, but I didn't encounter anything that I was scared at the time, of course, that I was actually seeing a demon. But with regards to any kind of changes to me, it was no difference other than I was just scared and then you could tell that, you could feel the dread in the air or the evil. I mean, it was really, thick. Like I said, you could cut it with a knife. But in regards to anything else, no, I didn't feel anything else. So when it left, of course, I was basically, almost like trembling. But I didn't notice anything else with regards to the demon. Now, when I mention about an evil spirit will say that they're demons, sometimes they'll even give the name a demonic name, so that way you think, excuse me, that you could think that they are an actual demon, but a demon will never give their name. So if you're ever investigating and the medium says, he says this or that, whatever demonic name they say, then that's not a real demon. Because a real demon will never give out its name short of an exorcism. And I found this out on a documentary I saw about demonology, that when an exorcist is, going through the process, when they find out what the name is of that particular demon, that also tells them what sin they committed to be, cast into hell. And that, and then the exorcist said, that gives them more control because now they know their name and the reason why, they were sent to hell. And I always knew about, they want to know the name, but I didn't realize about knowing their name, they knew exactly what sin they had committed. So if you ever, have a medium, they said, well, his name, and they pick a demonic name, that's, then right off, they're not a demon, because a demon's never going to give that up, like I said, unless it's in an exorcism. And one other thing I wanted to mention with regards to exorcism, I didn't realize that's like a form of beatings to demons. I don't think I ever really thought about it like that, but when I watching a documentary, that made sense. And the other thing with exorcisms is that there's what's called closed demons and open demons. And the closed demons are usually the lower level or lower powerful demons, and they'll hide. So when the exorcisms begin, they're the first ones to leave. Now the open demons, those are the ones that immediately come out as soon as the exorcism starts. So they're usually very powerful. But I wasn't even aware about I knew there was less powerful demons, but the actual terminology is they call them closed and open demons, which I thought that was pretty interesting. The next thing I found out is that demons can actually infect like crops and food, and they said that's how originally it came up, that you would have bless your food, whatever, when you were ready to eat, which began hundreds of years ago. But I just thought that was kind of like a tradition, but I didn't realize that demons could get into your crops and your food. I was like totally unaware of that, but it explains it now why, they'd always have a blessing before they eat. And it was because that demons could infect your food and your crop. I also wanted to mention about house blessings. And I had been thinking about this last couple of days to include that. Now, house blessings, they do work. But if, let's say, the person who's experiencing paranormal activity is on like bad land or cursed land and there's demons, house blessing is going to work for a period of time, or it'll lessen the activity, but the chances are that everything's going to come back eventually. because of the land and also the demons. But most of the time, if it's not very powerful evil spirits, the house blessing will work. But when I've talked to people, I tell them, this is most likely going to work. But if it's something else, then if the activity comes back, then another house blessing might buy you some more time. But you really have to start looking about, we would call in someone to do in-house exorcism. Now, I've never seen one. I would, of course, like to see that, but I don't know if I have that opportunity. But house blessings do work, but there are limitations. So if you have cursed land and demons, it'll just buy the homeowners, some time. Like I said, it might lessen the activity, or it might stop it for a period of time, but then everything will eventually come back. Then that's when you have to have a house exorcism. One thing I almost completely forgot to mention, and I kind of wondered about that myself too, but then I found out about this. Some people are under the impression that evil spirits and demons can read your mind. They can't do that. But what they're excellent at is they'll listen and watch, and by everything they can hear and watch, they use that at the right time to try to take advantage and possible oppression of a particular person. But I still run across sometimes where I said, evil spirits and demons can read your mind. They can't do that. One other thing that I found out that, and I kind of wondered about it, but I wasn't for sure, but that demons, they travel in groups or clusters. And I was always under the impression that, they usually there were, like one to a particular location. But then, of course, I noticed in, my experience when there was, I saw a demon 3 times, I figured, well, there's got to be at least 2 of them or 3. So then I started thinking, yes, they probably, I'm not like, some unusual situation that they do travel in groups or clusters. But that's why I say, I wanted to, cover this subject because, like in my situation, I doubt I'm ever going to see one. And when I start paranormal investigating, probably sometime in September, I would be shocked if I ever going to say that I ran across demonic activity. In fact, I had gone to a haunted hotel, last year, and I did a spirit box, and I could actually hear a woman on there, saying help, that she's trying to, cross over, but, that evil spirit wouldn't allow her to. And I tried for, 10, 15 minutes, and then I couldn't hear her anymore. So I get out from my desk, or not desk, but from the table at the haunted hotel, and I start walking back to the other room, because like when I do a spirit box, I don't want anyone in the room with me, because I don't want to be responsible for anyone, something attaching to them or anything like that. So as I'm walking back to the other room, and before I opened the door, I felt like electricity going through me. And then I started feeling really odd, and I realized I actually got jumped. I had never been jumped in all the time I've ever done investigations. They've always, tried to scare me and intimidate me, but I was never jumped. And so I knew right then and there that was a really powerful evil spirit, but it wasn't a demon. Because, I've had experience with evil spirits, even powerful ones, and I've seen, demons. And there's a huge difference between going from an evil spirit to a demon. So I knew that wasn't a demon. But, I always bring, holy water. And so I walked into the room, and I told a friend of mine that, I'd come along. I go, I'm pretty sure I just got jumped by an evil spirit. So, I used the holy water on myself, and then also my friend, just for added protection. But I realized after that I'm so, I had that, like I said, I don't like to use that word, but like connection with evil, that I said, well, no, I'm moving up to like the next level. So right after that, I got ordered a Saint Benedict's ring, which is also known as an exorcist ring, because I thought, I'm going to start going back doing investigations again, and I need to have more protection, because I always wear a crucifix, and I always take, holy water with on investigations. But I always thought that was sufficient. But after I got jumped, I thought, well, I better go ahead and start adding more protection on me, and that's why I got the exorcist ring. I didn't even know those existed, but I had read some other articles about, demonology and, how to protect yourself. And that's one of the things I ran across was a St. Benedict's ring. So, of course, I ordered that. So when I do start, probably sometime in September, then, I'll have more protection. But one thing I did want to mention, when I do start my investigations, I always like to sleep where they're, in the haunted hotels, because when I'm sleeping, they think I'm more vulnerable. And so I'll get a lot more on film, when they wake me up, because the first time I tried it was years ago. I was in another haunted hotel in Bisbee, and I had set up cameras all around me, and then I woke up and I'm seeing the visions of what, they're trying to scare me and, do to me, things of that nature. So I always want to sleep. So like down the road, when I get to go to these other locations that are extremely haunted, I'm going to ask, if it's a private home or whatever, that, I'd like to be able to, and usually all the activity in most places are in the basement. I go, hey, I'd like to, sleep there, that night. And I'm sure they're probably going to think I'm, some kind of sadist or something. But I'm doing it because, that gives me more opportunity to put things on film, because that's the whole goal of this, is to prove that there really is good and evil. Well, I think I covered everything that I need to. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And remember, there is evil out there. I've seen it. Be safe. Bye.